Hey, what's up, Samurai? Starting up in a minute. Damn it, sorry, Samurai, I sent it to the wrong place. I sent it to I sent it to General and not Promote. I'm too fast for my own good. Is there anywhere else? Oh no, the horror! I know, right? The horror. The horror, the horror, the horror, the horror. Alright, I think it's time to get started. Yeah, what's up, feet? Alright, let's begin.
Check.
Maximum volume.
Now if I drink until my rain over, that'll equal one hell of a hangover. Fuck it, tell the waiter bring another drink over. To celebrate a checkmate, game over. Although they hated our finesse, a mess elevated to the greatest of the best. Aggravated and I never gravitated to arrest, and I'm way more underrated than the rest. Now the game over, and I will post a lot of content on social media, doing it with a conscience. And in return, I will read a lot of nonsense as I'm finger twerking through them comments. Got a nigga palm tense, it's feeling like arthritis. Divided, but my purpose in life is try to unite us. Keeping it 300, I'm feeling like I can guide us. That's a metaphor to say that I'm feeling like Leonidas. It's time to activate the consciousness, and I ain't in it for them compliments. Wonder why he's overconfident, cause he know his talent needed overseas in other continent. And now the game over, that mean I'm headed for the throne, y'all. Pretty women, now return my phone call. And that just goes to say I showed y'all. Hate to say I told you so, but look, I told y'all. Now if I drink until my rain over, that'll equal one hell of a hangover. Fuck it, tell the waiter bring another drink over. To celebrate a checkmate, game over. Checkmate, game over. Checkmate, game over. Checkmate, game over. Fuck it too. Game over. When you pass off like a shoulder way before the chip, you get treated like a lake away before the ships. So I focus on your foes when your folk flip. You need to focus on them niggas that you rolling with. Cara Cajonas and they holding it. Bag full of money, everybody try to soak in it. But try to start a business and you notice it, that you was all alone until you opened it. Niggas hated on me, now that thing cooking. Overconfident is how they team look. I focus my attentions on this girl because it's obvious that every king shookin' when his queen tookin'. Cause that's a checkmate, game over. Checkmate, game over. Checkmate, game over. Checkmate, game over.
Good game.
Alright. This is... Yes, it is. And hello, everybody. Hello to everybody. And yes, this is long. This may be a little overdue. It is time for WWE2K20's review. As you saw with every other game, there is a pattern, and there seems to be a pattern with these games and quality. I'll even say, even games that that I place on the 6 out of 10 list are worthy enough to be purchased, bought, and played with, because they will give you hours and hours of fun. Some are some of my favorite games of all time. But when it comes to scores, I have to be honest. And I have to be professional. So let's start this off with some small positives with 2K20. And we'll start off with the mode that me and Beetle know the best, career mode. Career, this tree that you're seeing right here, this perk tree type deal, is good. It's a good system, and it's a good system for the mode, especially because your character cannot reach 100. So for me, that's cool. Even if you max everything out, you can never reach 100. That is really awesome, and I like that. And it makes you kind of feel like you're it gives you kind of RPG like vibes, where you can go through all the trees, pick what style of character you want to be and stuff like that. It's a very neat and cool idea, which seems to be kind of the thing with these freaking games, or at least with this one. Cool ideas. This one has plenty of cool ideas. Especially in the story mode, there is plenty of neat and cool ideas sprinkled throughout. So spoilers if you haven't made it that far in the story. You know, yeah. You know, I'm not gonna some spoilers for things coming up in the story, but there are some minors. The way you win the universal title is really cool, and there are plenty of good acting in this. There are plenty of good acting in the story mode, like this right here with Jerry Lawler. Some people like Lawler, Velveteen Dream, Samoa Joe, and people like that. They gave this their all. They did not think that they were going to be a part of a game like this. They gave every performance 110%, and I applaud every single last one of them. But we'll get into more of that soon. We'll get into more of that soon. As, again, there are some great moments in the story mode, and some cool concept ideas, like the women's tag team title thing. You know, the women's tag team title storyline, and the idea where the villain reveals the secret or whatever the hell. that could work and can work. But you'll notice very soon that does not happen. And I'll explain why. Especially when we get precious little lines like this.
I got a match for you. My butt, your face. What are you two fartwads doing? This table is reserved for wrestling team members only.
I thought there was a lot of boogers stuck underneath it.
Funny. You can leave now.
Sorry, we're busy.
Get my own action figure, become WWE Divas Champion? Is this some kind of WWE nerd vision board?
Hey guys, it's so good to see you. Congrats on the Hall of Fame. This is really happening.
Yeah. Some of the acting in this, or some of the lines that they have to say, are awful. I mean, I'll talk about it later. I'll show it up later. There's a lot of stuff in this story mode that almost screams like they're trying to make this entire series E for everyone. This game does not feel in a lot of ways T for teen, but I'll get into more of that later on as this review continues. But right now I just want to talk about the main villain of the story. Brooklyn Von Braun. Oh boy, where do I begin? This character is horrible. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This character is a horrible villain. This character screams. This character is the most stereotypical bully ever. And again, spoilers for anybody in the story, she never gets her comeuppance. I'm not kidding. She never gets her comeuppance. Ever. There is not a moment in this story where she will ever get her comeuppance for what she does, what she says, or anything that happens. And if you play a character that is another race entirely other than, I don't know, normal white, you'll see a lot of small things. This character, and this is a very serious thing, the character almost borderlines racist at times, of just going out of her way to make sure that these people in particular never go forward in anything in life. Now, was that the intent? No, I don't think so. I don't think that was the intent. But it does scream that, and that is a massive problem, especially when the character never gets her comeuppance at all and is just the standard bully of the week. I mean, heck, even Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers have better character arcs as bullies than she does. Because at least they actually got their comeuppance for their bullying. She never does. And that is a huge, huge problem. Other than that, just going into the story itself, the story is boring. Boring, lackluster, just seems like it just ends. It could get the story can get frustrating at times, hilariously bad at times. This career mode is good if you want to just have drinks with your buddies and freaking just laugh. That's what this story mode is. It's just, oh, get some drinks with your buddies and just laugh at the entire absurdity and insanity of this entire thing. And at that, it kind of fails too, because there's not much to it. There's some things to laugh at, but then there's not much in any other places. There's not really much to laugh at here. But when you do get those moments, it can be like, ha ha ha, oh my, wow, how bad is this? And one of the major things is that career mode does not have any skip buttons. You cannot skip any cutscenes in career mode. That's one of the major ones for me, because as you saw during the end of my stream of career mode, me and Beetle had like 4 crashes and during the career mode, and I had 3. And we would have already been done with the story if we never had those crashes. So it just extended this mode to absurd lengths to the point of we weren't having fun anymore. We just wanted to get this shit done and just finish it. And just move on. So the crashes are a massive problem. A massive problem. Not just with this mode, but just the game itself.
It's not torture if you're paying for it.
Exactly. Because every cutscene is not skippable. And graphics-wise, as you can see here, because we're moving on to graphics now, and it does, and this also ties into career mode. Heck, a lot of this stuff ties into career mode. There's a lot of these little graphical problems. And a lot of the faces just don't seem right. This series' infamous clipping problems are back and in full force. I mean, this series has never been without the clipping problems. It's always had clipping issues, and this is just more of the same. More of the same clipping problems. But this one of the series is very different. Because there are control problems. Like, real simple one. Knocking someone into the rope so you can dive outside of the ring. Sometimes, depending on the move, it seems, you could try to grab for them and you'll grab everything but them. It's really weird. The reversals are almost non-existent, or at least 50-50 at times. The way you have to do your finishers and signatures... Hey, what's up, Tyler? The way you have to do your finishers and signatures almost screams fighting game, even more than SVR 08 did. And that could work in a sense, but that type of control scheme could only work if you allow the player to map their own buttons. So they can have a control scheme that works for them and fits their playstyle. I'm good, Tyler. How are you? That fits their playstyle. If you don't have that type of thing, it's just going to be more like this, where you're trying to edit the control scheme and do your own thing with it, but yet nobody else playing really likes the changes. Now, for some of us long-term players, like you saw earlier with my reviews of every single type of game I ever played, maybe it's just maybe it's just playing, maybe it's just Stockholm. Maybe it's just playing these games for so long. But even during the story mode, all throughout, I would get ideas and my hand would just quickly go to the R2 button. It would to reverse. To reverse, it would just quickly naturally go to the R2 button. And for the finisher, sometimes if I was tired enough, I would just instinctively go to the triangle. Just naturally out of instinct. Because I've been playing these for so long. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's that, but for me, the control scheme seemed kind of clunky and not really... It never really fit. It never really fit right. But I will say the reversal system, for when it worked, and if it worked all the time, and it wasn't buggy and 50-50 at best most of the time, if it was actually more functionable, it actually would be a very much better reversal system than we've had in previous years. Because the back buttons are way more... They're very lag based because you have to press them down. And that will take you much more time than just simply pressing a button. So in theory, the reversal system should work. And should if the game actually was playtested more. If the game was not rushed out, we'd be probably looking at a little bit of a different story. Gameplay is still fun. At least, watching matches, playing matches. Sometimes when you get a good one, the game can be really, really fun. But then at the same time, there's really small minute problems and big problems galore. Like making a match for a vacant title, and the vacant title will become vacant again after you shut off the game. For no reason, unless you purposely go into, title management and give them the title. Any changes you make to the superstars, whether it's their attributes or whatever, will automatically just go back to the way they were before. Either while you're still in the game or when you pick up the game again. The AI, when trying to break up pin covers, will just run up against the ropes for no unexplained reason. So in that way, the AI is actually worse than 08. Because 08's AI was just bad. Was just really bad to the point of you could beat every character if you knew what you were doing on freaking legendary difficulty, and it felt like it felt like you were playing on normal. This me and Beetle, at least Beetle did later on, I always had the story on easy difficulty, so we could easily just mow through the story mode. as you saw on our co-streams, we were having sometimes we were having problems with simple parts of the story. Whether it was because of the submission system and how the AI treats it, or just matches where the AI would just become a reversal fest for no reason whatsoever. And in some parts with the story, you can actually tell that the AI's reversal bar does not move. It does not move. They'll use a reversal, but it won't acknowledge that they used a reversal. So that could make matches way, way too long. And I know recently they said, 2K came out and said, oh yeah, the patch, this recent patch fixed most of it. Fixed some of it. The patch fixed some of the problems, and the game is a lot smoother and a lot easier to play than before the patch, because at least now we can reverse on time. But yeah, this reversal system is just this gameplay itself is not it's not good. Patch or not, it has not improved by leaps and bounds. And I don't know anything about game programming, but I don't think a bunch of patches are going to fix the gameplay. I think you're going to need a whole new game. And with this series, as far as I could tell, with all the other games, have stuck with the same type of engine for so long. And even if they have upgraded their engine at any time, oh heck yeah, the damage is done. And even if gameplay wise, the engine of the game, even if they have upgraded it, it's still the same. It's still partially the same engine. I think at this point, this series, the 2K series, needs to think about getting a brand new engine. And now for people like me, the Creation Suite. Oh, where do I begin? You can see it on screen. There is a lot of options to this mode. I'm not gonna say there's not, but as you can see on screen, a lot of them are bugged. A lot of the options are bugged and glitched, and they do not look right, nor do they work they barely work at all. Oh, and trust me guys, there are far more pictures in this. I could not fit all the pictures that I have of all the glitched items on one screen, on one of these Share Factory videos. I cannot fit all of them. These are just some of them. These are just some of the items that are now just glitched, that are pretty much glitched to no end and do not look like they could ever be, and look like this. And look like the game is half finished. Because more than likely it was. The logo uploader, despite what anyone says, is still bugged and still glitched and is still broken. From my bros that have effed with all the other modes, like create an entrance and create an arena, those modes are, because I haven't touched them yet. I haven't touched them in full yet. Those modes are glitched, and create an arena can cause your game to just slow down if you're in more than a simple one-on-one match. So created wrestlers in created arenas can lead to just the game crashing altogether because it can't handle it. Something that I wrote down here that I thought was just all around seems to just be in career mode. Because in career mode, create a briefcase has some weird, I don't know what to call it, a weird filter, a weird like blur filter when creating a briefcase. And obviously, as you can see here, that does not exist. So I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did with the briefcase thing in career mode. But yeah, that really, yeah, it makes it hard to see what you're doing. Oh, heck yeah. Another thing here, and obviously, as everyone knows, no created belt. That should be coming, but at the same time, yep, has a glitch with Titantron. But honestly, with create a belt, it should have been in this at launch. And if the game was this half finished, I don't care. They should have been able to. They should have, in some ways, they should have delayed the game in any way humanly possible. Yep, crashes at times during created arenas during the entrances. Yep, they're flaky. The created arenas are flaky. One thing that I've noticed here, as you can see with these type of entrances, the belts have some weird shine to them. Some of the belts look good with that type of shine, and others just don't look good at all. As you'll see with the Intercontinental title coming up. There are some belts that just are blinding. Oh heck yeah, the coding was not done correctly at all. As you can see here, the shine on that belt is way too high. It makes the Intercontinental title almost hard to see, and there are other belts like that almost look hard to see, if not even done. But some belts with the shine do look good, like that Attitude Era World Heavy, like the Attitude Era WWE Championship does. It looks phenomenal and looks like it's the real thing. But then you have stuff like the Intercontinental title that just has way too much of a shine, and there's other belts like that too. Again, continuing to scream half finished. The roster is smaller than last year. And by the way, if I had audio on right now, you would be hearing the announcer say Pete Dunne's name and where he's from and everything, and say that he's the Intercontinental title about 4 or 5 times. About 4 or 5 times. And no, I am not. This is not me placing this on a loop. This has been a problem with the series. I think back in 2K17, I think it's when it started, and it's just gotten significantly worse as time goes on. In this game, it's at its worst, with the announcer just saying the same people over and over and over again and then leaving out the challenger. Yeah, the commentary can be off at times. Sometimes they'll call a freaking DDT a simple kick to the gut. As you can see on screen here, the game will say Albert Asswipe, but and yet they won't say damn it. They'll say darn it. Almost like this game is screaming that they're leaning this series towards being E for everyone. The blood is halfway. I have never seen the blood show up, but other people like Beetle have said they have seen matches where the blood is all over the place. So apparently it's at like a delay. Commentary prior to the patch was never off, as far as I saw. As far as I saw, the commentary before the patch was never off. They were always on point and knew what, and were doing exactly what they were programmed to do. And now, with all that being said, you've seen all the other 2K games. You've seen what my thoughts are on every single last game in the franchise. Every single review score that I would give every single version. What is my review score for this? Well, before the patch, I would have given this game an easy, a very, very easy, low 3 out of 10. But right now, as it is, I give it a high 3 out of 10 after the patch. This is by far the worst game in this series' history. 2K15, yes, it did not have a lot of content, but at least the content worked. This fails on so many levels. At this point in the series, as someone that has been playing this series for a long period of time, save your money. Don't buy it. Don't buy this game, because even if future patches do fix this game, it's not going to be significant. If they're able to fix this game enough, which for me would be a massive leap of faith if they do, they wouldn't even be able, they would only be able to get like maybe a 5 on the scale if they were to fix almost practically everything, which is never going to happen. So this game is going to stay at a 3 or a 4, even after all the patches. This game was rushed out, it was not finished, and it screams it. And at this point, I am not buying 2K21 unless I get screaming endorsements from people that I know and I trust. This game has drained me of any passion to create as a creator. This series, all you guys need to vote with your wallets. Vote with your wallets. Don't buy it, and don't buy 21. And yeah, some people would be saying I'm modest with the score. But I give it that score, and I don't give it lower because there are moments of good. There is moments of good in this. I can see the good. I can see a shining diamond. I can see some shining diamonds in the shit that is this game. I can see the good that it can be. But every single time it tries to get there, it falls over the hurdle, rolls into 7 or 8 different hurdles, and crashes and burns, and pretty much knocks itself out of the race. At this point with 2K, they need to step it up. Now that they no longer have Ukes, they have to. This is their series now. They have to do better than this. Because if they don't, you've already chased off a lot of diehard fans. This may be the last for this one may be the last for me. If I don't hear 21 is any good, it will be. So, like I said, vote with your wallets, guys. For those that have not bought or played 21, or if you're somebody that has pre-ordered 21 and still hasn't picked it up, cancel the pre-order. Don't buy it. Don't buy 20. Don't even buy 21. Vote with our wallets and make sure that these people know that we're not going to take games like this. We're not going to take low quality, low effort games like this. So with that being said, I'm Against Odds 20. This has been Chris Knight Speaks. Remember to keep a stamp pack handy, and as always, ad Victorium. I will see you next time on the next Chris Knight Speaks, whenever that may be. It may be a interview with somebody this time, and The next stream I'll be doing will be finishing up Ghostbusters, and then later on this month I will be playing The Outer Worlds once I get it. And yes, plus competition. That's another one. Plus competition. Buy the games on my opener there that have scores like 6, 7, 6 and 7s and 9s out of 10. Go pick those up. They're fun. They're entertaining. Pick those up or wait and buy games like Retromania. Buy a game like that. Buy all the older games. Buy some of the older games. Buy some of the newer wrestling games. If you're not, if you're into the Avengers, wait for the Avengers game and buy that. If you're into something else, if you want to wait for Cyberpunk 2077, wait for Cyberpunk 2077. If you want a wrestling game right now, pick up other games. 19's a good one. Pick up that wrestling game with the New Japan guys in it. I forgot its name. I'm a great reviewer. I forgot the game that's currently out. Buy one of them. Just buy another if there are plenty of wrestling games coming up. There are plenty of games coming up. Pick them. I'm a hardcore wrestling fan too. I know you are. But there just comes a time where we have to just say, we have to let this go. Yeah, spend money on the combat season pass. Spend money on Power Rangers Battle for the Grid if you want, and its season passes. Supporting a small company. Just play something else, and wait for 2K if they ever do pull their heads out of their rear ends and actually make the series good. So again, with that being said, I'm out. Thank y'all for watching. This has been Chris Knight Speaks. Oh yeah, thank you, Fiery. Fire Pro Wrestling. Fire Pro Wrestling. Buy Fire Pro Wrestling. It's a great game. Great game with a lot of content. Has a lot of stuff in it. It's really good. Pick that up. Just don't buy this. And this stream is... Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it!